We had a number of local nationals working for this program, obviously, because of what we were doing, guys that were vetted, and one of them flipped over to the Taliban. We had a V-bid driven in one of my houses, and the intent was obviously to kill me and my friends. Luckily, we weren't there at the time. We had all been pulled out to be briefed. Was like, okay, that happened, but we're still in. So I went back into a neighboring country that I'd been working in. I started working with their country's like business affairs, and they immediately attached him to me. He's supposed to be a business guy. He wasn't very good at his cover. It was very obvious. About sunrise, I had a knock on my door. It's Jack. He's got another guy with him. And when I opened the door, two big dudes come out, and that is four of them, and forced their way in the doorway. And they're like, hey, we want to show you a piece of property. And I'm like, no, I'm not going. And they're like, no, you don't understand. You're coming with us. But when I got in the car, I realized that I probably shouldn't have gotten in the car. And they started driving and started asking some questions, and drove out of the major city into the woods, stopped the car, took me out of the car. I thought they were going to question me, interrogate me, and kill me. I was pretty convinced in that moment. When you believe that and know you're going to die, like, it's a pretty heavy thing. And I believed in that moment I was going to die. That's the only time in my life I ever believed in that moment I'm going to die. And that whole time I'm thinking do I try to jump out the car? Do I try to fight right here? But I just didn't feel like that was the right moment. Some heavy questions, not so much about me, about the program manager. I knew they had received information. I know who he was. They knew things that they shouldn't have known. People think they could hold up an interrogation. You get anything out of anyone. They never went that far. They didn't physically abuse me. It was just intimidation and threats, because it never got to that point. And I started seeing this hope that they're going to let me go to let this play out. And that's exactly what happened. Told me to get in the car. They didn't say a word when they dropped me off back at my house. Met my program manager in Dubai, gave a debrief. I don't know how this happened. We proceeded, and I went back.
Yeah. I don't understand that. You're a compromised operative.
The whole operation is compromised, in my opinion.
But especially you.
Especially me.